Good morning, students. How are you? I hope you all are fine and staying home to keep yourself safe from COVID-19. Here in this module, we are going to discuss about the international trade, where we'll discuss about the international trade and tourism. So let us begin, students. International trade, integration of countries through trade activities. So the exchange of goods among people, states, and countries is referred as trade. So, before understanding the international trade, we should understand what is trade. So, it is very clear from the picture the exchange of goods, whether medium of exchange is good to good or medium of exchange is money. So, let us see next point. The market is the place where such exchange takes place. No doubt, students can understand that this is a picture of market where the people are buying their required goods and commodities. Such places are referred as market. Trade between two countries is called international trade. It may take place through sea, air, or land routes. So, when the trade is between the countries, so that kind of trade is international trade, and that takes place through the land routes where we use different types of vehicles, the sea routes, and this kind of railway, the air transport, the different means of transport we use. Generally, this international trade is referred as export and import activities. When we buy goods from the country, other country to our country, so that is import activity. And when we sell the goods from our country to other countries, that way this is export. Suppose India purchases any commodities like petroleum from Gulf countries, so this is import. And when India sells iron ore to Japan, so this is export. While local trade is carried in cities, towns, and villages, state level trade is carried between two or more states. So, local trade is between the cities, towns, and villages. State level trade is carried between two or more states. Suppose trade is between the Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. So, such kind of trade will be local trade. Or any kind of trade activities, the business activities within the city, within the town, or between the villages, between the towns, cities, that all comes as local trade. Advancement of international trade of a country is an index of its economic prosperity. So, as much as higher will be the international trade or the trade relations will be the different countries, so that tells us ki how much bigger economy we have. And these import and export activities are the symbol of our prosperity. It is therefore considered the economic barometer of a country. So, this international trade, export and import activities referred as barometer. Barometer, you know that barometer is apparatus which is used to measure the atmospheric pressure. Similarly, here, what is the condition of our economy in terms of prosperity? That is clear with this import and export activities. As the resources are space bound, no country can survive without international trade. Space bound means the resources are limited to their natural availability. The resources, whatever the natural resources are there, wherever that are naturally found, that are there only. Unless the countries have trade among themselves, that cannot reach to different part of the world. So that is why without trade, without international trade, no country can survive. Export and import are the components of trade, very simple to understand. Possible trade positions. Here, export and import activities can be seen in these two different conditions: favorable of trade, unfavorable of balance of trade, unfavorable balance of trade, and favorable balance of trade. Balance of trade means the difference between the export and import. When export is higher and import is lower, this tells us favorable balance of trade. When export is lesser and import is higher, that tells us unfavorable balance of trade. And not here we talking about the quantity. We are talking about the values of the commodities. Whatever commodities, the goods we are importing or exporting, that we discuss about the values of those different goods and services. India has trade relations with all major trading blocs and all geographical regions of the world. The commodities exported from India to other countries includes gems, jewelry, chemicals and related products, agriculture and allied products. The commodities imported to India include petroleum crude products, gems. Here, petroleum crude and product means petroleum products and the crude oil. Gems, jewelries, chemicals, related products, base metals, electronic items, machinery, agriculture, and allied products. Allied means the here related product. India has emerged as a software giant at the international level and it is earning a large foreign exchange through export of information technology. So India has emerged in recent time as software giant and India is earning a very high level of foreign exchange through this export of information technology. Tourism as a trade. Tourism in India has grown substantially over the last 3 decades. More than 15 million people are directly engaged in tourism industry. Tourism also promotes national integration, provides support to local handicrafts and cultural pursuits. So that way you can say tourism is taken as a trade activity. Generally, The handicrafts and cultural pursuits are getting scope for selling their products to the tourists. It also helps in development of international understanding about our culture and heritage. So when the people of different countries come to our country, they understand our culture and heritage, and that way we also understand their culture when through the interaction. Foreign tourists visit India for heritage tourism, ecotourism, adventure tourism, cultural tourism, medical tourism, and business tourism. And similarly, Indian people also visit to different other part of the country in the similar manner. There is a vast potential for development of tourism in all parts of the country. As through this picture you can see that likewise thousands of places are there in our country which can be developed are in the form of places of tourism. Efforts are being made to promote different types of tourism for this upcoming industry. And as during the tourism, no goods are being exchanged on the basis of this, we call it invisible tourism. So thank you student. This was all about the topic international trade and tourism given in this chapter. So we'll meet in the next module with some other topics. Till then, bye bye, students.